Welcome to our journey into the hidden realms of ancient biblical geography. Today, we delve into a topic that has intrigued scholars, theologians, and explorers for centuries: the true location of the Garden of Eden, hidden clues in biblical geography. The Garden of Eden is more than just a story of beginnings. It is a place of divine origin, described in the scriptures as the cradle of human existence. According to Genesis, Eden was a paradise where the first humans, Adam and Eve, lived in perfect harmony with nature and God. However, the exact location of this paradisical garden has remained one of the greatest mysteries of the biblical narrative. Our exploration will take us deep into the heart of the Bible's geographical and historical references, where we will uncover hidden clues about Eden's true location. We will examine the description provided in Genesis 2:8 through 14, which mentions four rivers: Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates, and the regions of Havilah, Cush, and Assyria. These names hold significant weight and are key to unlocking the geographical puzzle of Eden. Throughout this journey, we will rely on a wealth of sources, including scriptures, historical insights, and forbidden knowledge that has been suppressed or overlooked by mainstream academia. By cross-referencing biblical texts with archaeological findings and ancient historical records, we aim to paint a clearer picture of where Eden might have been situated. Join us as we piece together the puzzle of Eden's lost geography, guided by ancient texts and modern discoveries. This quest will take us across vast historical landscapes, from the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia to the ancient civilizations that shaped human history. We will explore theories, controversies, and the hidden knowledge that has been passed down through generations, revealing insights that challenge conventional understandings. The biblical description of Eden. To understand the true location of the Garden of Eden, we must begin with the biblical description provided in Genesis 2:8 through 14. This passage offers the most detailed account of Eden's geography and serves as our primary source of information. Genesis 2:8 to 14 describes the Garden of Eden as follows. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into four headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris. It runs along the east side of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. The description begins with the mention of a river that waters the Garden of Eden, flowing out of Eden and separating into four headwaters. The first river, Pishon, is described as winding through the entire land of Havilah, which is noted for its wealth in gold, aromatic resin, and onyx. The exact identity and location of the Pishon River have been the subject of much speculation, as no river by this name is known in contemporary geography. The second river, Gihon, is said to wind through the land of Cush. Cush is traditionally associated with regions south of Egypt, often linked to the area around modern-day Sudan or Ethiopia. Like the Pishon, the precise identification of the Gihon River remains unclear in modern terms. The third river, Tigris, is well known and still exists today. It runs along the east side of ancient Assyria, which corresponds to parts of modern-day Iraq. The Tigris has played a crucial role in the development of Mesopotamian civilizations. The fourth river, Euphrates, is another prominent river that continues to flow through the Middle East. It parallels the Tigris and has been a vital water source for countless civilizations throughout history. The Euphrates is often considered a lifeline for the region. In addition to these rivers, the biblical text mentions several regions associated with them. The land of Havilah, linked to the Pishon River, is described as rich in gold, aromatic resin, and onyx. Havilah's exact location is debated, with some scholars suggesting areas in the Arabian Peninsula or northeast Africa. The land of Cush, associated with the Gihon River, is traditionally identified with regions south of Egypt. Pointing to areas around modern-day Sudan or Ethiopia, known for their historical richness in ancient cultures. Assyria, mentioned in connection with the Tigris River, was a major Mesopotamian kingdom and empire located in what is now northern Iraq, renowned for its powerful armies and significant contributions to art, literature, and architecture. This biblical description provides a framework for locating the Garden of Eden. By examining these rivers and regions, we can begin to piece together the possible locations of Eden and uncover hidden clues within the ancient texts. The River Pishon. The quest to identify the Pishon River, as described in Genesis 2:11, presents one of the most intriguing mysteries in the search for the Garden of Eden. The scripture states, "The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold." This reference to Havilah provides a vital clue, as the region is noted for its wealth in gold, aromatic resin, and onyx, suggesting a land of considerable significance and prosperity. Various theories have been proposed regarding the possible locations of the Pishon River. Some scholars suggest that the Pishon could be one of the now dry riverbeds, or wadis, found in the Arabian Peninsula. These ancient river courses, which once carried significant water flow, might align with the biblical description of a river that winds through a rich and resourceful land. One such candidate is the Wadi al-Batan, a riverbed that extends through parts of Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, linking it to the historical and geographical narrative of the region. Another theory posits that the Pishon River could be associated with the Ganges River in India. This hypothesis is based on the interpretation that the wealth of Havilah might have corresponded to the rich resources of the Indian subcontinent. However, this theory remains controversial due to the geographical distance from the other rivers mentioned in the biblical account. Historical and archaeological insights into Havilah further complicate the identification of the Pishon River. Havilah is mentioned several times in the Bible, not only in connection with the Garden of Eden, but also in other contexts, such as the territories inhabited by the descendants of Ishmael, Genesis 25:18. This suggests that Havilah might have been a region known for its extensive trade routes and resources, possibly spanning a vast area. Archaeological findings in regions like northeastern Africa and the Arabian Peninsula have uncovered traces of ancient civilizations that traded in gold and other valuable commodities, aligning with the biblical description of Havilah. For instance, the ancient city of Marib in Yemen, with its historic dam and prosperous Sabaean kingdom, has been linked to the wealth and trade networks that might fit the description of Havilah. Speculating on the hidden knowledge regarding the location of the Pishon River leads us to consider the possibility of ancient geographical changes. Over millennia, rivers can alter their courses, dry up, or be redirected due to natural and human activities. The shifting landscapes of the Middle East and surrounding regions might have obscured the original course of the Pishon River, leaving only faint traces in ancient texts and archaeological records. Moreover, some forbidden knowledge suggests that the true course of the Pishon River might have been deliberately concealed or lost over time due to its association with the sacred and enigmatic Garden of Eden. Ancient texts and traditions outside the mainstream biblical canon might hold further clues, hinting at a river whose significance extends beyond mere geography to encompass spiritual and esoteric dimensions. The River Gihon. The biblical description of the Gihon River, found in Genesis 2:13, states, "The name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush." This association between the Gihon River and the land of Cush provides a crucial geographical and historical anchor point in our quest to locate the Garden of Eden. Historically, Cush is commonly identified with regions south of Egypt, encompassing areas of modern-day Sudan and Ethiopia. In ancient texts, Cush is often depicted as a land rich in cultural and material wealth, known for its powerful kingdoms and vibrant trade networks. The kingdom of Cush, which flourished along the Nile River, particularly in the regions of Nubia, aligns with the biblical Cush. This ancient civilization was renowned for its monumental architecture, including pyramids, and its significant influence on neighboring Egypt. Exploring the geographical boundaries of ancient Cush reveals a vast and diverse region. The kingdom of Cush extended from the southern reaches of Egypt down through northern Sudan, with its capitals at Kerma, Napata, and later Meroe. The Nile River, crucial for sustaining the life and prosperity of Kush, played a central role in the civilization's development. However, the Gihon River's precise identity and course remain ambiguous, with no river by this name existing in current geographical knowledge. Some scholars propose that the Gihon could be a reference to the Blue Nile or the White Nile, tributaries that converge to form the Nile River proper. The Blue Nile originating in Ethiopia and the White Nile flowing through several East African countries, both traverse regions historically associated with Kush. This interpretation aligns with the description of the Gihon winding through Kush, suggesting a symbolic or actual connection to the Nile's tributaries. Insights into ancient Kush further illuminate the Gihon's potential significance. The land of Kush, often described in biblical and historical texts as rich in resources and culturally influential, played a pivotal role in regional politics and economics. The Kingdom of Kush, known for its wealth in gold, ivory, and other precious commodities, engaged in extensive trade networks that reached across Africa and into the Near East. This economic prosperity and cultural exchange could reflect the biblical portrayal of Kush as a significant and resourceful land. Forbidden knowledge and hidden clues about the Gihon River add another layer of intrigue to our investigation. Some esoteric traditions and ancient texts outside the mainstream biblical canon suggest that the Gihon River, like the Pishon, might represent more than just a physical waterway. These sources hint at the Gihon's possible connection to spiritual or mystical concepts, intertwined with the sacred geography of Eden. Moreover, the enigmatic nature of the Gihon River in the biblical narrative invites speculation about ancient geographical changes or lost knowledge. Over millennia, rivers can alter their courses or even disappear due to natural events and human intervention. This possibility raises the question of whether the Gihon River once existed in a form or location now obscured by time and transformation. The association of the Gihon River with the land of Kush provides vital clues in our search for the Garden of Eden. By examining the historical and geographical context of ancient Kush, exploring its significant influence and boundaries, and considering forbidden knowledge, we gain deeper insights into the possible identity and location of the Gihon River. The Tigris and Euphrates. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers are among the most significant and well-documented rivers in human history, playing crucial roles in the development of ancient Mesopotamian civilizations. Their precise locations are well known, flowing through the modern-day countries of Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. Genesis 2:14 provides their biblical context. The name of the third river is the Tigris. It runs along the east side of Assyria, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. This verse highlights the importance of these rivers in the narrative of the Garden of Eden, situating them within the broader geographical framework of the ancient Near East. The Tigris River, known in modern times as the Dijla, originates in the Taurus Mountains in eastern Turkey and flows southeast through Iraq before joining the Euphrates River. Historically, the Tigris has been a lifeline for numerous civilizations, including the Sumerians, Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. It has supported agriculture, trade, and settlement along its banks for thousands of years. The Euphrates River, referred to as the Furat in modern terms, also begins in eastern Turkey and flows southward through Syria and Iraq. It converges with the Tigris in the Shatt al-Arab waterway, which eventually empties into the Persian Gulf. Like the Tigris, the Euphrates has been central to the rise and sustenance of Mesopotamian civilizations, providing water for irrigation and serving as a major transportation route. Historical maps and geographical studies support the locations of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, tracing their courses through the heart of what is often called the cradle of civilization. Ancient maps from Mesopotamian time, such as those created by the Babylonians, depict these rivers in considerable detail, underscoring their importance to the region's geography and culture. Geographical studies further confirm the Tigris and Euphrates as pivotal to the development of early urban centers, such as Ur, Babylon, and Nineveh. These cities thrive due to the fertile lands and abundant water supplied by the rivers, fostering advancements in writing, law, architecture, and various technologies. However, hidden geographical insights and interpretations add another layer to our understanding of these rivers in the context of the Garden of Eden. Some researchers propose that ancient shifts in river courses and regional climates might have altered the landscape since biblical times. This could mean that the Tigris and Euphrates we know today are not identical to their ancient counterparts. One intriguing theory suggests that during the time described in Genesis, the Tigris and Euphrates may have formed part of a more extensive and interconnected river system. This hypothetical network could have included now dry riverbeds or subterranean watercourses, aligning with the idea of a single river in Eden that divided into four headwaters. Additionally, some interpretations of ancient texts and traditions outside the mainstream biblical canon hint at esoteric or symbolic meanings for these rivers. In these views, the Tigris and Euphrates could represent not only physical waterways, but also spiritual or metaphysical pathways, integral to the sacred geography of Eden. The known locations of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers are well established and supported by extensive historical and geographical evidence. Their significance in the Garden of Eden narrative, as outlined in Genesis 2:14, positions them as key elements in the quest to uncover Eden's true location. The Land of Eden. The Land of Eden, as described in the Bible, is more than just a mythical paradise. It is a geographically and historically significant region that has sparked centuries of inquiry and speculation. To analyze the Land of Eden, we must delve into various biblical texts and explore the broader context of this enigmatic location. Genesis 2:8-10 provides a foundational description. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into four headwaters. This passage suggests that Eden was not just the garden itself, but a larger land from which the garden drew sustenance and resources. The garden, therefore, was part of a more extensive and fertile region, characterized by abundant water sources and diverse flora. Ezekiel 28:13-14 provides additional insights into the Land of Eden, albeit in a metaphorical context. The prophet Ezekiel, addressing the king of Tyre, uses Eden as a symbol of unparalleled beauty and divine favor. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you: carnelian, chrysolite, and emerald, topaz, onyx, and jasper, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and beryl. Your settings and mountings were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the fiery stones. While this passage is allegorical, it emphasizes the richness and splendor associated with Eden. The references to precious stones and the holy mount of God suggest a place of immense value and spiritual significance. This description aligns with the idea of Eden as a land blessed with natural beauty and divine presence. The potential broader region encompassing Eden has been the subject of extensive debate and research. Some scholars propose that Eden could have been located in the Mesopotamian basin, encompassing parts of modern-day Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Syria. This area, known as the Fertile Crescent, is historically significant as the cradle of early human civilization. Its rich soils and abundant water sources from the Tigris and Euphrates rivers made it an ideal location for the flourishing of ancient cultures. Another theory suggests that Eden might have extended to regions further afield, such as northeastern Africa or the Arabian Peninsula. These areas, known for their historical wealth and trade networks, could correspond to the descriptions of Havilah and Cush associated with Eden. Forbidden knowledge about the true extent of Eden's land adds another layer of complexity to our understanding. Some ancient texts and esoteric traditions propose that Eden was not confined to a specific geographical location, but represented an idealized state of harmony between humanity and the divine. In these interpretations, Eden's boundaries are fluid, encompassing not only physical landscapes, but also spiritual dimensions. Additionally, some traditions suggest that Eden's location and extent have been deliberately obscured or hidden over time. This concealment could be due to the profound spiritual and esoteric knowledge associated with the land. Ancient civilizations, secret societies, and religious traditions might have preserved fragments of this hidden knowledge, hinting at Eden's true nature and location. Possible locations of the Garden of Eden. The search for the true location of the Garden of Eden has led scholars and explorers to consider several possible regions, each supported by historical, biblical, and archaeological evidence. Among these, Mesopotamia and the Persian Gulf region stand out as prominent candidates. Mesopotamia, historical and biblical evidence. Mesopotamia, often referred to as the cradle of civilization, is one of the most widely accepted locations for the Garden of Eden. This region, situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in modern-day Iraq, has a rich history that aligns with the biblical description of Eden. Genesis 2:14 mentions the Tigris and Euphrates as two of the four rivers flowing from Eden, providing a strong geographical anchor. Historically, Mesopotamia is known for its early civilizations such as Sumer, Akkad, Babylon, and Assyria, which thrived due to the fertile land and abundant water sources provided by these rivers. The presence of advanced agriculture, urban development, and writing systems in this area further supports the idea that it could be the location of the biblical paradise described as the birthplace of human civilization. Theories about the Persian Gulf region. Another compelling theory places the Garden of Eden in the region now submerged under the Persian Gulf. According to some researchers, the Persian Gulf basin could have been a fertile and hospitable area during the last ice age when lower sea levels exposed more land. This theory suggests that the four rivers mentioned in Genesis, Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates, may have once converged in this region before it was flooded by rising sea levels. Supporters of this theory point to geological and climatic changes that would have transformed the landscape over millennia. The identification of ancient riverbeds and freshwater sources in the Persian Gulf Basin lends credence to the idea that this area could have supported a lush and vibrant garden, fitting the biblical description. Archaeological findings in the Middle East. Archaeological discoveries in the Middle East provide additional clues about the possible location of Eden. Excavations in regions such as southern Iraq, Kuwait, and Bahrain have uncovered evidence of early human settlements, trade routes, and advanced cultures. These findings suggest that the area was once part of a thriving and interconnected civilization, potentially corresponding to the rich and diverse land described in Genesis. For example, the ancient city of Eridu, located in southern Iraq, is often considered one of the earliest cities in Mesopotamia. Some scholars propose that Eridu, with its significant religious and cultural importance, could have connections to the Eden narrative. Similarly, the discovery of ancient trade networks linking Mesopotamia with regions as far away as the Arabian Peninsula and the Indus Valley highlights the interconnectedness and prosperity of these ancient lands. Cross-referencing with scriptures and historical records. Cross-referencing biblical scriptures with historical records further supports these theories. The names and descriptions of regions like Havilah and Cush, associated with the Pishon and Gihon rivers, correspond to known historical and geographical locations. The identification of gold and other resources in areas linked to Havilah aligns with the biblical account, while historical references to Cush as a powerful kingdom south of Egypt provide additional context. Ancient texts and records from civilizations such as the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Egyptians contain references to a primordial paradise or sacred land, often described in ways that resonate with the Eden narrative. These parallels suggest that the story of Eden may have roots in shared cultural memories and traditions that predate the biblical text. Hidden knowledge supporting these locations. Hidden knowledge and esoteric traditions offer tantalizing hints about the true location of Eden. Some ancient writings and mystical texts suggest that Eden was more than a physical place. It was a state of spiritual harmony and divine presence. These sources propose that the exact location of Eden has been deliberately obscured to protect its sacred nature. Certain secret societies and religious traditions claim to possess fragments of knowledge about Eden's location, passed down through generations. These hidden clues often point to regions with a deep spiritual significance, such as Mesopotamia and the Persian Gulf, supporting the idea that Eden was a real place with profound esoteric importance. The role of ancient civilizations. The narrative of the Garden of Eden is deeply intertwined with the histories of ancient civilizations, such as the Sumerians, Akkadians, and Babylonians. These cultures, which flourished in the Mesopotamian region, have left a profound impact on the biblical stories and possibly on the very concept of Eden itself. Sumerian, Akkadian, and Babylonian influences. The Sumerians, one of the earliest known civilizations, laid the groundwork for much of Mesopotamian culture. Their mythology and religious beliefs feature a paradise-like garden known as Dilmun, which shares similarities with the Garden of Eden. Dilmun is described as a place where sickness and death were absent, a land of eternal bliss, reflecting themes later found in the Eden narrative. The Akkadians, who succeeded the Sumerians, also contributed to the mythological and religious tapestry of the region. Their epic tales, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, contain elements that parallel the Eden story, including a sacred garden and a quest for immortality. These stories were part of a broader Mesopotamian cultural milieu that influenced the Hebrew Bible. The Babylonians, inheriting and expanding upon Sumerian and Akkadian traditions, continued to shape the region's religious landscape. The Babylonian creation epic, Enuma Elish, describes the creation of the world and the establishment of order, themes that resonate with the biblical account of Genesis. The interplay of these cultural narratives suggests that the story of Eden was part of a larger, shared cultural and religious heritage in the ancient Near East. Genesis 10:8-12, Nimrod and the establishment of ancient cities. The Bible also provides clues about the influence of ancient civilizations on the Eden narrative through the story of Nimrod in Genesis 10:8-12. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became a mighty warrior on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. That is why it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The first centers of his kingdom were Babylon, Uruk, Akkad, and Calneh in Shinar. From that land, he went to Assyria, where he built Nineveh, Rehoboth-ir, Calah, and Resen, which is between Nineveh and Calah, which is the great city. Nimrod is depicted as a powerful leader and the founder of several key cities in Mesopotamia, including Babylon and Akkad. These cities were not only political and economic centers, but also cultural and religious hubs. The establishment of these cities by Nimrod signifies the emergence of complex societies that had a lasting influence on the biblical tradition. The mention of Babylon and other significant cities ties the Eden narrative to the historical and geographical context of Mesopotamia. It underscores the profound connections between the biblical stories and the ancient civilizations that shaped the region's history. Forbidden knowledge about ancient texts and their links to Eden. Forbidden knowledge and ancient texts offer deeper insights into the links between these civilizations and the Garden of Eden narrative. Some ancient writings, such as the Sumerian King List and the Akkadian Atrahasis epic, contain references to a primeval paradise or a golden age, suggesting that the concept of a perfect, divinely ordained garden was a common theme in Mesopotamian mythology. These texts often speak of gods and humans living in harmony, a state disrupted by divine judgment or human transgression. Such themes parallel the Eden story, where Adam and Eve's disobedience leads to their expulsion from paradise. The recurrence of these motifs across different cultures indicates a shared mythological heritage that likely influenced the biblical account. Moreover, esoteric traditions and hidden knowledge preserved by secret societies and religious groups hint at deeper connections between these ancient civilizations and the Eden narrative. Some believe that the true understanding of Eden's location and significance has been deliberately obscured, guarded through the ages by those who possess this forbidden knowledge. Modern theories and controversies. The search for the true location of the Garden of Eden continues to captivate scholars, theologians, and historians, resulting in a range of modern theories and ongoing debates. These efforts are fueled by advancements in archaeological techniques, new interpretations of ancient texts, and the uncovering of previously hidden knowledge. Modern scholarly theories. One prominent theory places the Garden of Eden in southern Mesopotamia, near the confluence of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Scholars supporting this theory argue that the biblical description of the four rivers, along with the fertile lands of Mesopotamia, aligns with the geography and historical richness of this region. The archaeological site of Eridu, one of the oldest known cities, is often cited as a possible location for Eden due to its significance in Sumerian culture and its proximity to the confluence of these major rivers. Another theory suggests that the Garden of Eden was located in the Persian Gulf region, which was once a fertile plain before being submerged by rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age. Proponents of this theory argue that the Gulf's now submerged riverbeds match the biblical description of the four rivers, with the Gihon and Pishon potentially representing ancient watercourses that no longer exist. Some researchers propose that the Garden of Eden could be situated in northeastern Africa, specifically in regions associated with the Nile's tributaries. This theory aligns with the identification of Cush in the Bible and suggests that the Gihon might correspond to the Blue Nile, which flows through Ethiopia and Sudan. Controversies and debates. Despite these compelling theories, the exact location of Eden remains a subject of intense debate and controversy. Theologians and historians often clash over the interpretation of biblical texts, the significance of archaeological evidence, and the implications of identifying a real-world location for a story that many consider to be allegorical or symbolic. One major point of contention is the identification of the Pishon and Gihon rivers, which do not correspond to any known rivers today. This discrepancy leads some scholars to argue that the biblical description should be understood metaphorically rather than as a literal geographical account. Others maintain that these rivers might have existed in ancient times, but have since disappeared or changed courses due to geological and climatic shifts. The role of ancient literary traditions also fuels debate. Some researchers emphasize the influence of Mesopotamian mythology on the biblical Eden narrative, suggesting that Eden's description is a synthesis of various ancient cultural motifs. This perspective challenges traditional religious views and raises questions about the historical accuracy of the biblical account. Hidden clues from recent archaeological discoveries. Recent archaeological discoveries have provided new clues that may shed light on the mystery of Eden's location. Advanced technologies, such as satellite imagery and ground-penetrating radar, have revealed ancient riverbeds and settlement patterns that were previously unknown. For instance, satellite imagery has identified potential ancient river courses in the Arabian Peninsula, which some scholars believe could correspond to the Pishon and Gihon rivers. These findings suggest that the Arabian Peninsula might have been a more fertile and hospitable environment in ancient times, supporting the theory that Eden could have been located in this region. Excavations in southern Iraq and southeastern Turkey have uncovered evidence of early human habitation and advanced agricultural practices, lending support to the Mesopotamian theory. Artifacts and inscriptions from these sites often reference a primeval paradise or a sacred garden, resonating with the Eden narrative. Forbidden knowledge suppressed by mainstream academia. Amidst these scientific advancements, there are claims of forbidden knowledge that has been suppressed or ignored by mainstream academia. Some researchers and independent scholars argue that certain findings and interpretations are deliberately marginalized because they challenge established paradigms or religious dogmas. For example, alternative historians suggest that ancient texts and esoteric traditions contain hidden references to Eden's true location in nature. These sources often describe Eden as a place of profound spiritual and mystical significance, extending beyond a mere physical location. They propose that understanding Eden requires deciphering symbolic and coded messages embedded in religious and mythological texts. Furthermore, some assert that powerful institutions have historically sought to control or obscure knowledge about Eden to maintain religious or political authority. This includes the suppression of archaeological evidence that might contradict traditional interpretations of the Bible or the dismissal of unconventional theories that challenge the status quo. Scriptural references and forbidden knowledge. The search for the Garden of Eden is not limited to the canonical texts of the Bible. By cross-referencing lesser-known scriptures and ancient religious manuscripts, we gain deeper insights into Eden's possible location and its broader significance. This exploration often reveals hidden knowledge that challenges mainstream interpretations and offers alternative perspectives. Cross-referencing lesser-known scriptures and texts. While the Book of Genesis provides the most widely recognized account of the Garden of Eden, other ancient texts and scriptures offer additional clues and context. These texts, often considered apocryphal or non-canonical, include the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Enoch, and various pseudepigraphal writings. By examining these sources, we can uncover layers of meaning and details that complement the biblical narrative. Insights from the Book of Jubilees and other apocryphal texts. The Book of Jubilees, sometimes called Little Genesis, offers a detailed retelling of the Genesis narrative, providing additional context and elaborations on the stories of Adam and Eve. According to Jubilees, Eden is described with more precise geographical markers, and its significance is emphasized in the context of sacred time and divine covenants. The text mentions the Garden of Eden as being created and sanctified by God as a place of unparalleled holiness. Similarly, the Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish apocalyptic text, contains references to a primordial paradise, often equated with Eden. Enoch's journeys describe a garden at the ends of the earth, filled with wondrous and sacred trees, echoing the biblical imagery of Eden. These descriptions, while mystical, offer a vision of Eden that is both physical and spiritual, suggesting a deeper connection between earthly geography and divine realms. Hidden knowledge from ancient religious manuscripts. Ancient religious manuscripts, such as the Dead Sea Scrolls, also contain fragments and references to Eden. These scrolls, discovered in the mid-20th century, include writings from various Jewish sects, some of which expand on the Genesis account. These texts often highlight Eden's role in the divine plan and its symbolic representation of an ideal state of existence. For instance, the scrolls contain references to a garden of righteousness, a place where the faithful are rewarded and where divine wisdom is bestowed upon humanity. This concept reinforces the idea of Eden as not just a historical location, but as an eternal symbol of spiritual perfection and divine favor. The role of forbidden knowledge in understanding Eden's true location. Forbidden knowledge, often preserved in esoteric traditions and secret societies, plays a significant role in understanding Eden's true location. This knowledge, considered hidden or suppressed by mainstream academia and religious institutions, provides alternative narratives and interpretations that challenge conventional views. Esoteric traditions, such as Kabbalistic teachings and Gnostic writings, often portray Eden as a state of divine consciousness or a metaphysical realm. These teachings suggest that the physical location of Eden is intertwined with spiritual enlightenment and the quest for divine knowledge. The symbolism of the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil is central to these interpretations, representing the path to spiritual awakening and the consequences of human choice. Furthermore, some ancient manuscripts and mystical texts hint at advanced knowledge of geography, astronomy, and cosmology, which were encoded in the descriptions of Eden. These sources propose that the precise location of Eden is hidden within a complex framework of symbols and allegories, accessible only to those who possess the key to deciphering these ancient codes. Cross-referencing lesser-known scriptures and ancient religious manuscripts reveals a rich tapestry of insights and hidden knowledge about the Garden of Eden. The Book of Jubilees, the Book of Enoch, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and esoteric traditions provide alternative perspectives that deepen our understanding of Eden's significance. By exploring this forbidden knowledge, we uncover a multifaceted view of Eden as both a historical place and a profound symbol of divine harmony and spiritual enlightenment. Summary. Throughout our exploration of the Garden of Eden, we have delved into a myriad of clues and theories that span historical, biblical, and geographical perspectives. The biblical description in Genesis 2:8-14 introduces the four rivers, Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates, alongside the regions of Havilah, Cush, and Assyria, providing a foundational framework for locating Eden. By analyzing the possible locations of the Pishon and Gihon rivers, we explored historical and archaeological insights into these mysterious waterways, considering ancient geographies that might have shifted over millennia. The well-documented Tigris and Euphrates rivers anchor Eden in the fertile lands of Mesopotamia, a region known for its rich history and early civilizations. Mesopotamia's historical and biblical significance is further supported by modern scholarly theories and archaeological findings, suggesting that the area near the confluence of these rivers holds key insights into the Eden narrative. Exploring the broader region encompassing Eden, We examine theories about the Persian Gulf and northeastern Africa, considering the role of ancient civilizations like the Sumerians, Akkadians, and Babylonians. Their myths, religious beliefs, and cultural achievements provide context and potential parallels to the Eden story. The biblical account of Nimrod in Genesis 10:8 through 12 links Eden to the establishment of ancient cities, emphasizing the interplay between biblical history and Mesopotamian civilization. We also delved into modern theories and controversies, highlighting the ongoing debates among theologians and historians. Recent archaeological discoveries and advancements in technology offer new clues, while forbidden knowledge and esoteric traditions challenge conventional interpretations. Ancient texts, such as the Book of Jubilees and the Book of Enoch, alongside hidden manuscripts, reveal additional dimensions to the Eden narrative, blending physical geography with spiritual symbolism. The significance of hidden knowledge in biblical geography cannot be overstated. By cross-referencing lesser-known scriptures, ancient religious manuscripts, and esoteric teachings, we uncover a richer and more nuanced understanding of Eden. This forbidden knowledge often provides alternative narratives that complement and expand upon the biblical account, suggesting that Eden is both a historical place and a profound symbol of divine harmony and spiritual enlightenment. In conclusion, the quest to uncover the true location of the Garden of Eden is a journey that spans historical inquiry, biblical scholarship, and spiritual exploration. By examining the various clues and theories presented, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexity and significance of this ancient story. The interplay of hidden knowledge and biblical geography invites us to continue exploring, seeking new insights and understanding about one of the most enduring and enigmatic mysteries in human history. The true location of the Garden of Eden remains an open question, encouraging further investigation and contemplation for generations to come.